What I'm not okay with is you might have heard of a little rat called Matt Rhodes. Hello, lads and ladies. Happy Easter. I hope you have a good Easter. It is Easter Sunday, of course. The day our Lord risen from a cave, I think. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure if you know me, lads. I'm all about facts. I'd like to see more proof. I don't mean to be offensive about that. I just want more proof. I don't believe it. I'm not sure if I believe it, that he risen from the dead after 3 days. I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he pulled 502 deadlift as well while he was at it. Okay, so what we're going to do today, lads, is I'm going to cover some of your questions and your comments through the comments section. And let's get straight into it, lads. Let's get stuck into it. Oh, I love answering your comments because some of you are feisty with me. You're like, fuck pa. And I'm like, fuck pa, you're right. Fuck me. Anyway, here's the first one, lads. Spokeen26249. Not being a hater, but how did pa get a reserve spot at World's Strongest Man? Because I'm fucking class. I am class. And I help sell tickets. And I'm exciting to watch. And I make the old ladies go, oh, look at Patrick. He took his top off and he shake his titties. That's why. I think I can think of a dozen guys deserve it more. Pa is 10 in a row of being the bottom half of Giants Live competition. It hasn't been 10 in a row, you fucking cunt. I was like, I can't remember. It hasn't been 10 in a row. Pa, how do you feel about Thor and Matias competing in Russia while Russia is bombing Ukrainian cities and murdering children? Can you make a post on Instagram? I have lost all respect for both Thor and Matias if they compete in the Siberian Power Show, which they both did. Now, I thought about this. Now, I hate it when, and you're after doing it, you mix sports with politics, and sports and politics are two things that should never, ever, ever mix, ever. Even the politics within the sport shouldn't exist because it's always shite. And Thor and Matias saw this as just another competition. They're over there competing. It's not as if they're over there like other celebrities signing bombs and doing all this other fucking shit. They're literally there to represent their countries and to compete at a show, and I'm okay with that. Now, that being said, what I'm not okay with is you might have heard of a little rat called Matt Rhodes. And to the best of my knowledge, Matt Rhodes is involved in this show. And I know some of you are thinking, oh, but Matt Rhodes is such a nice guy. He's so great. He's not. He's one of the single biggest cunts in Strongman. If he even is in Strongman. And I just saw a funny comment the other day, and you're probably asking why, because I know some of you, though I know he has set up loads and loads of accounts in support of himself, and I know this for a fact. He's a horrible little rat. He's a little rat face like this, and he's always causing fucking issues, and he tries to cause issues within Strongman and trying to create divisions between strongman competitors and organizers and all this other thing. So I'm just trying to find this comment that he put up. Here's his. I found this hilarious. This was on Reddit. How is Matt Rhodes a piece of shit? I'll tell you why. Because he's the biggest piece of shit there ever is. He invested loads of money into growing the sport and seems to have earned the respect and friendship of some of the best athletes in the game. I'm sorry. He invested money. Where in the fuck did he invest money? As you can see, this is clearly him writing about himself. The only thing he did wrong apparently was he friggin' dared talking about everything that's wrong with World's Strongest Man 3 years ago and got hate for it. Same as Thor. But now that Mitch and Loz are in on it, it's cool again. No, Matt Rhodes is a little rat-faced cunt, and I'll tell you why. He first came into my radar a number of years ago, and no, I'm not going to tell the full story, but it really riled me up. So he was talking about, he made up this story, and I'm not going to go into the details of it because I think it's kind of disgusting, the shit that he was talking about. And basically, you can come to your own thing. He was talking about Brian Shaw and his wife Kerry and the late, great Mike Jenkins. And when I heard that story, I was thinking to myself, what an absolute scumbag to be talking shit like that about a man that he does not know and did not know anything about the whole situation and came to his own conclusion and was talking shit about Brian Shaw and Kerry. And I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't have it. Then I know for a fact that he was speaking to a pro strongman, a high-level pro strongman, and told that he's like a little rat in your ear spreading lies and misinformation. And he said to this strongman, he said, do you know that the Stoltmans got the World's Strongest Man events 6 months before it happened? Now come on, lads, we all know here, World's Strongest Man is not the most organised sport in the world. Let's be honest and truthful about it, right? There isn't a fucking hope in hell anyone gets those events. And I know this, I'm not speculating, I know it for a fact. No one, 0 persons gets events before everyone gets them all together. No one. And I know that for a fact because, first of all, they can't decide on events. I mean, I only got an email last week and everyone got the same email about the finalization about events, you know, the little details of things, little changes and stuff like that. So to think that anyone gets these events early, it's horseshit. And he's always talked, that's like his main go-to. I think recently he said Shane Flowers was getting the events early. And Shane messaged me and I was like, this cunt is at it again. No one gets them early. And to the best of my knowledge, well, I know for a fact that Darren Sadler has a heavy hand in selecting those events. And Darren, and I'm close friends with Darren, Darren would tell you nothing because he wants to keep the sport fair. In fairness to him, he would tell no one. And of course, I've questioned in the past, what are the events coming up for Worlds? Would you any chance you tell me the events coming up to Worlds? And he would reply to me, I'll tell you now what he told me. And lads, this is the truth. He told me to fuck off. And he said anyone that asks, he tells them the same thing. And if he was going to tell anyone, he'd tell me, because apparently World's Strongest Man favours me all the time, so shouldn't I get the events early? Do I fuck? No one does. Oh, so yeah, so he was trying to create a division between this certain strongman, I won't name him, he's a high profile guy, and the Stoltmans and World's Strongest Man, and creating shit and drama for no reason, only to create shit and drama, and he's always at this fucking shit. And for some, like, it's clearly him. He seems to have earned, he is friends with certain strongmen, and I think the reason for that is because he's deep throating these strongmen, and these strongmen, like, they don't see him as the threat that he is, that he's a little fucking rat face, and they should just be more careful of him, and they just don't care enough to know what he's really like, and that's the size of it. I just don't think they know what he's like. But anyway, moving on from Ratface. God, I hope I offended him. So this is, I'm impressed with how you managed to misrepresent everything that Loz and Liz said in their video. Liz's point was that if your Giants Live invite doesn't go to plan, it can be hard to know what to do next. And Loz was saying that whilst the qualifying system is good, it could do with being expanded so that there are more opportunities for new athletes to in. Surely we want to see more talent coming through. We absolutely do. Getting worried that you're turning into Matt Rhodes here. Oh my God. What an insult. What an insult. I would rather turn into a hairy pile of shite than turn into this, what is he, 5'4" little weasel man that's pretending to be from Russia. Okay, Liz's point was that if your Giants Live doesn't go to plan, it can be hard to know what to do next. It's not for the athlete, because the athlete knows exactly what happens next, because Darren will contact them. For argument's sake, with Yako, I pronounced his name wrong in the last video, Yako was immediately there at the competition day, was told by Darren, your invite don't count today as your invite, you will get another invite, I promise you. And when Darren says that to you, you will 100% get your invite. I know that for a fact. So even though we don't know what's happening next with the athlete certainly does know what's going to happen next. Laws was saying that while the qualifying system is good, it could do being expanded so that there are more opportunities. There's the same opportunities for everyone across the planet because it's online. All you literally need is a Wi-Fi service. And I don't know what the qualifying system, the events are, but they're like, if you're going to go to World's Strongest Man, all these other competitions, you're going to need the bare minimum anyway of events like log, a deadlift bar, a squat bar, some sandbags, whatever. So all you need is Wi-Fi and a couple of events and upload your videos, and that is you qualified. I don't understand how the qualifying system needs to be expanded more, because there's a European OSG, there's an American OSG. I could be wrong. I think there's more. Is there, like, I don't want to say because you'll be the first to point it out that I'm wrong. Is there an Australian one? A South African one? I'm not sure. Maybe, if that's the case, then there should be one. If there's not, there should be a Southern Hemisphere OSG. I don't know if there is. Maybe, if that's what Laws was actually saying, then maybe we could expand it. But like that, it's worldwide because it's online and all you need is a few bits and a Wi-Fi and you're fucking qualified. Moving on. Torrington Stonekeeper. Laws said he'd like to punch Pa out. I don't blame him. There's a big long queue for punching me. But Laws said Pa would call the cops on him. First of all, there's no cops here in Ireland. It's the Gardaí. And there's no cops in the UK either. It's the police, you cunt. Either way, they should just scrap it out. No snitching, just business. I can imagine me and Laws going into the ring with all our ailments. My knees are fucked, so I would need my knees wrapped. It would just be lots of tape holding us together. It'd be fun. Arty Johnson. Then don't go. It's called the strongest on earth. Jesus Christ, these events. These comments, I mean. Then don't go. It's called the strongest on earth. It should be max everything. Always wanting more for doing less. Arty Johnson. Arty. Arty, I want you to do me a favour, right? Just as a quick experiment. I want you to go over to the drawer in your kitchen and I want you to pull out a fork, right? And I want you to walk over to the plug socket in the wall and I want you to stick it in, right? And the answer to your comment will be there. So go on, we'll wait for you. Right, Arty's dead, and that's one less cunt out of my comment section. Moving on, whatever her name is. Shaw announced this year will have a qualification system for strongest man on earth. He is including SCL and North America's strongest, which can open up the door for some people who might not be on the radar. That is not a qualifying system. That's just taking people from other competitions. How is that a qualifying system? North America's strongest man also is probably one of the hardest competitions in the world to win. So I hate the fact that he thinks that he uses that like for someone new and upcoming. They have to win North America's. It's probably the equivalent of trying to win Europe's. It's really hard to get qualified that way. Moving on, Marcus Roper. In all the videos of Strongman I've ingested, me too. In the past few days, I have come to this conclusion. World's Strongest Man is very UK and European leaning comp. What are you talking about? The main fucking sponsor that is dictating World's Strongest Man is an American company for American TV. If you look at the athlete invites over the past few years, it's nearly always 40% to 50% Americans. What are you talking about, you cunt? Oh, lads, some of you give me headaches. You give me this pain right there in my brain. But it's okay, it's educational. This is education time. Whereas the Arnolds and Rogue are more North American comps. What are you talking about? Rogue was in Scotland and it was a worldwide invite thing. There was lots of Americans in it. How was it specific to North America? But anyway, nothing you've said so far is good. Saying it's the pinnacle, but to be the pinnacle, you have to be at the top. And as far as innovation, as far as interest in the sport, it's not. And that's a bad thing. Everyone arguing over which is the most prestigious, who cares? As a fan, I want as many high-level comps as I can see while keeping the athletes and everyone involved healthy and paid correctly. I agree there. I wonder if this was how it was when IFSA split up from World's Strongest Man. Was there this much tribalism? There was this much tribalism, but what happened back then is you did not have YouTube channels and Instagram pages for all of the fucking scrapping to take part, which is a pity because I'm going to find out what happened with IFSA if I can. But I know there was a lot of shit and it was all to do with money. And I think correct me if I'm wrong, I think IFSA promised loads of money for the people that left Worlds to join them, and IFSA ended up paying no one. And I think that's what happened. And we've seen that before with other fucking competitions, i.e. WUS, who still owe athletes money. Fred, let's see what Fred has to say. Another cunt. I understand as well my last video was very quiet, so I'm going to turn it up today and blow the ears off of you. Fred, World's Strongest Man is a TV show, barely a competition. Fredward. Do you remember that little experiment we did a second go at Arty, was it? I want you to do the same thing, and your answer will be there. So I want you to go over to the kitchen, grab yourself a little fork. Because this one was extra stupid, I want you to wet the fork for us. So go over, wet the fork right in the sink, and stick it into the plug socket, please. And that's where your answer will lie. Do not try this at home, kids, because you will die. Moving on. Pizza Dutt. What you think of Eddie Hall? He comes across as a bully. Used to love him. I would not think Eddie Hall is a bully at all. I've quite a good lot of time for Eddie. And a lot of Strongman fans should. Eddie propelled Strongman into another level between his deadlift, winning worlds. What else did he do? He did lots of things. He just did a whole pile for the sport, and he's no more wide. And I've seen it with my own two eyes. Eddie gets hassled constantly everywhere he goes. So you were probably, after hearing a story, or you were probably at the bitter end of him trying to eat his dinner. And I've seen this. It literally happened at last year, the year before, World's Strongest Man. And Eddie was sitting down. He was trying to eat his dinner. And this fella just hit him in the shoulder. And he goes, photo, Eddie. And Eddie just snapped at him because, number one, he's trying to eat his fucking dinner. Number two, there was no manners. There was no, hey Eddie, excuse me, may I get a picture please? You know, they was just hit him in the shoulder, hey Eddie, photo. And I think Eddie told him to fuck off, and rightly so. If you're going to be that fucking rude, you deserve to be rude back. So no, I don't think, I've never heard of Eddie being a bully. Always nice to me, always nice to any of the Strongman athletes, always helps out athletes. So no, I disagree. Jackson Bow, Strongest Man on Earth does have a qualifier. Top 3 Worlds, top 3 Rogue, top 3 Arnolds, winner of North Americas, and top 5 from previous year, plus Shaw Amateur. And it's also 16 guys, not 10. I bet you there wasn't 16 guys competing last year. I meant to look that up before I come on, but I didn't. But I bet you I'm right. Listen here, top 3 at Worlds and top 3 at all these other competitions, that's not a qualification system. That's just grabbing other winners of competitions. It is not a qualification system. If you think comparing this to OSG is the same thing, you're wrong. And if you keep doing it, I'm going to get you to do an experiment with the fork, okay? That is not a qualification system. A qualification system would be setting up an online thing, having a fucking thing in the UK, because there's a lot of athletes in the UK, having a qualifier competition in the UK, have a qualifier competition at the Shaw in America, and not the same day, so you qualify for next year. Have one 3 months beforehand so he can actually compete at Shaw in the same year. Something that simple. Maybe that's coming down the line with Brian Shaw. I hope so, because like he is for the athletes, except for when he's picking events. Moving onwards. 25 John Lowe. How did you get around the fact that the events and athletes need a lot of time in between events? Only hardcore fans will tune into a live stream that covers multiple days at weird times for many people. I don't see how they get around that. So you're talking about World's Strongest Man, and there is a simple way around that. And I spoke to Darren about this. You could do World's Strongest Man in America, 4 arenas or 4 nights, each night in an arena, the exact same as Giants Live, from 5 to 8 o'clock every night 5 events. Is that what we do? No, it's three or four events a night. Every night, back to back to back. Live stream for 2 or 3 hours, done ski. Live stream day 2, 2 or 3 hours, done ski. Back to back events. We're used to Giants Live. That's how they do it. It's that simple. It's simple. It's just there's lots of other sponsors in the way, like CBS and everything else. That's why I love Darmington took it over, because that's what his idea would be, is 4 nights in an arena, back to back, live stream, TV, everything. It's like if Giants Live can have it on Channel 5 and live stream it, why the fuck can't CBS do that? He's shower of cunts. Anyway, moving on. Oh, I think that's... Oh, no, we have one more. Unsure why the World's Strongest Man doesn't strike a deal with Netflix, Amazon or YouTube so premium users can watch it live for free. I hate having to listen to pages like Liz and Loz to get live updates. It's not ideal. Listen to Liz and Loz when you want to watch the action live. And can you imagine if World's Strongest Man got signed up to Netflix, how good it would be for everyone, for the fans, for the strongman itself, because we'd be able to strike better deals, make more money, for everything, for the exposure of the sport, for growing the sport. There's literally no downside to having strongman on Netflix. It would be fucking amazing. I would love it so much. Let's all pray to God on this great Easter Sunday and pray that in the sometime future that I'm still competing, that I get to be on Netflix lifting stones. Wow, that would be amazing. I just had a little thought of it. Anyway, guys, thank you all for listening. I will see you tomorrow. I hope you have a great Sunday. I hope you had a great weekend. And we will chat some more. Let's go. Mwah.